Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hello and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. Today I have my good friend Shae here. Are you going to call me Tracy or Mrs. Allen on this video?
It might be both.
Shae was a cheerleader for me when I coached, and then she was a co-coach with me, and now she's just a mom of two and a teacher, just a mom of two and a teacher. But she's going to do a couple of recipes with, well, actually 3 or 4 or 5 recipes, whatever. And we're doing $1 million recipes. And it's your fault.
Yeah.
She brought her $1 million spaghetti recipe, but we're going to add some others to that. So we're going to start out with $1 million cake. And I've already done part of that ahead of time just to save us some time. I baked the cake, and you're just going to take a regular yellow cake mix and follow the package directions and bake it in 2 8-inch rounds. And then the recipe calls, I was telling Shae this just a few minutes ago, the recipe calls for you to split each of those halves in half so you have 4 sections. I'm not doing that. Or we're not doing that. So we're going to make the filling icing that goes over this, and then we'll show you how that goes. So Shae's going to start. She's going to cream 8 ounces of cream cheese. So just until that's a creamy texture. And then to that, she's going to add some powdered sugar and some vanilla. And this thing is loud, so if we talk, we have to talk loudly. Okay. Good. That's good. So she's going to add to that 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and that's measured for her right there. I don't like to use my stand mixer when we're on video, because it's even louder than my hand mixer.
I'm gonna make a big mess.
She's also going to add some vanilla, and that's measured for you right there. It's just a teaspoon of vanilla. You want me to do this part?
Yeah. I want to make a mess on camera.
Oh, you wouldn't mind it if it wasn't on camera? Ron was making fun of me the other day. He said, do you realize when you tap things off your spatula or whatever, you do the same beat every time? I go, every time. Huh. And I said, I guess I never paid attention, but I realize that I do. Okay, so to that, she's going to use her spatula to mix in a 20-ounce container of crushed pineapple, juice and all. And a 16-ounce can of mandarin oranges, but we're going to take 5 of those out. Just put them in the pineapple bowl if you want to. We're going to take 5 out so we can kind of decorate. Are you picking the pretty ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And these we drained, so if there's a little juice, it's okay. Yeah. And then a 3.5 ounce package of instant vanilla pudding. Do you make the chocolate chip cookies with the vanilla pudding in it?
No. I haven't made cookies in a while, honestly.
Well, I'm impatient with cookies because if you could make bars or something else that you just put on in there and then you're done instead of having to keep going back and forth and back and forth. So she's going to mix all that together. And the only other thing she needs to do is to fold in a container of Cool Whip. I should have opened that, shouldn't I?
Oh, it has the thing.
That
at
was
least.
too easy.
I saw that.
If it were me, I would have been struggling. Here you go. These little things. Do you ever make your own whipped cream? I do for some things, but we like Cool Whip. So.
I do too. I just love Cool Whip.
Yeah. I have 2 of my daughters-in-law that don't like Cool Whip. And they don't like cake.
Oh, I feel like anything with
Yeah.
Cool Whip though.
I know.
And that made sense when you said that about the $1 million.
Yeah.
Cool Whip and dessert. Okay. Your paper towel.
You can use it. We were laughing about my paper towel trail. Cake over.
Does fold really mean just to
It,
stir?
well, it means to
Are you
stir
supposed
gently,
to?
yeah. So it's, yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, we're gonna put a layer of that onto the top of this layer of cake. You can be as generous as you want because we're gonna use that whole thing eventually, so. So she's going to do this layer, and then we're going to put the top layer on. Now when I put this in my 8x8, I sprayed my pan, but I also cut out circles of wax paper and put that in and sprayed it again. That way it releases from the pan easier.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah, I like to do the bunny cake at Easter time, and then it never fails that half of my cake ends up
I
in the
know.
thing.
It's so
that's a
frustrating when that
good
happens.
idea.
Okay. And now she's going to go ahead and put it on the top and down the sides of this one, and we'll show you when it's done. Okay, Shae and I are back, and we're doing some more $1 million stuff. She made a $1 million cake, and it looks really good.
It does, yeah.
And now we're going to do a $1 million pie. And so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make the graham cracker crust for it. I'm sorry, I have a mint in my mouth. I melted a stick of butter, and Shae measured out the graham crackers, and she's going to mix those in. And it calls for 1.5 cups of graham crackers.
Oh,
And
sugar
it's okay,
first.
either way.
Cinnamon?
And sugar and cinnamon. And it was a 1/4 cup sugar and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of or 1/2 a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then the graham crackers. And she's going to mix those together and then press them into the bottom and up the sides of her pie plate. Do you like cinnamon?
Yep.
I do in some things, but I found in some things it's kind of as much as I like it, like the cinnamon rolls and that stuff, sometimes it's overpowering.
Like in a crust?
Yeah. There was I'm trying to think what it was that I made recently, and it called for a teaspoon of cinnamon, and even a teaspoon was too much. So I cut it back to a quarter of a teaspoon, and then it was much better. Okay, so you can press that into your pie plate. And then we're going to put that in the refrigerator to cool for about 10 minutes while we make the filling. Okay, we're back to make the filling for the $1 million pie. The crust is in the oven, so Shae is going to combine. Why don't you tell them what you're going to combine?
Really? I'm combining the condensed milk, right?
Mm-hmm. Sweetened condensed milk.
Sweetened condensed milk with lemon juice.
And
How
it's,
much? I
Yeah,
don't know.
2 tablespoons. And you have to do it for about 1.5 minutes to make sure it's really mixed in well.
Not too big of a wooden spoon.
Otherwise, the milk will just separate. Have you ever made caramel sauce with sweetened condensed milk?
No.
It's really good, and it stays
Should I
soft.
mark
So, like to dip your apples and stuff in, it'll stay soft.
Huh.
Okay, so she's gonna mix that for 1.5 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna time it. And when she's done with that, she's gonna add a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. Now, the pineapple, we had to not just drain it, but after the liquid drained off, I pressed it to drain more liquid off, and then I had to use paper toweling to get as much of the liquid gone as I could. Otherwise, your pie gets runny. But we have that, and then we have a cup of coconut, a cup of chopped pecans, and then a 8-ounce container of Cool Whip that we'll put in. Okay, so now we're adding the pineapple that's been drained and drained and drained.
And I made a mess. Dang it.
Throw that in.
Okay.
And yeah, the chopped pecans. And you'll need a cup of coconut. And the coconut's in the bag right there. Do you like coconut?
I do.
Okay. Ron, none of my family will eat coconut. And I have a really good coconut cream pie recipe.
Oh, I love
And
coconut cream pie.
I know, I love it. And I have to make it when we're going somewhere, like for a basket dinner or something, because I'm the only one that will eat it. And I can't eat a whole coconut cream pie by myself. Well, I could, but I shouldn't.
Yeah. I haven't had that in a really long time though.
And, well, it's a little harder to make too, because you have to temper the eggs and do all that. So it's kind of a pain, but okay. So she's going to mix those in well, and then fold in the 8-ounce container of Cool Whip, and then this will be ready to go in our pie shop. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.